while this memorial is over, obviously our grief isn't. And in some ways, it probably gets harder from here as we try to figure out how to integrate the loss of Becky into our lives. And that means that it's our jobs to hug and squeeze and hold and support Becky's mom, Mary, and brothers Jesse and Cameron and Mateo even more than before, and to support her close circle of friends even more than before, and to support Ran even more than before, and to support each other even more than before. I can say for myself that I have missed Becky every day since she died, and I will miss her forever. But I also feel like it's important for us to try to teach each other how to feel something other than just loss and pain when we think about Becky. How to think about what we loved about her and what she taught us, what we learned, what it felt like. And when I think about that, I think about a journey that Becky and I got to take together last year as Becky set out to find her voice and her vision even more boldly and more clearly than she had before. And I can tell you that it wasn't very easy and that it wasn't always fun. And in fact, there were some pretty dark moments of self-doubt and another thing you don't hear about on the New York Times part about Becky, but she did have moments where she worried about what her leadership was supposed to be and whether she was supposed to be like the forest expert or the climate expert or, you know, Mike Brune or whoever she was supposed to be following. And I had the privilege of watching her walk the path as she figured out how to be the most bold and beautiful Becky leader. And the best part of that was actually when it was hard, because Becky had a way of pushing herself to the edge and a way of marrying boldness and humility that was incredible. And I will never forget it. And I will never forget what it looked like when that woman took the stage last year at Revel, and she was so in touch with her unique voice, and she was so in touch with her quintessential Becky-ness. And I just want to tell you that she got there. She reached her goal, and it was fucking amazing to be part of. So to close tonight, we're going to do something that is very Becky, and for anybody who has ever been part of any Rockwood leadership stuff, it's something you'll be familiar with. But Becky loved this Rockwood, very loud and long clap. I will confess I found it torturous. But she did it at RAN whenever a staff person had to give a difficult presentation. She would get everybody else in the room to applaud for the person as loud as they could for as long as they could. And I think for her what it was about is both to teach people, to teach the presenter how to really feel praise and how to really feel acknowledged, and to also teach everybody else in the room how to give even more than they thought they could. And so what I would like to ask you to do is, for one last time, I want to clap like hell for Becky, as loud as we can and as long as we can. Right now.